Yes, my wife. It was recently her birthday, and decided I said, "What do you want for your birthday, hon?" She goes, "I want to go to the opera." Okay. I got her two tickets to the opera, and it's funny. It's a good story. It's a good story. Little sneak peek of maybe a one-man show. This could be a movie. I don't know. But I get there to this opera house, and I'm sitting there. I got my suit on. I'm looking good. And this opera starts, And I'm looking around. This guy's up on stage. Some jerk's up there going, la, 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 this and that. Blah, 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 right? Looking around. An hour goes by. I couldn't take it. I stood up. I go, shut the fuck up! All right, it's the early crowd. That's usually a standing O. I'll let you work up to it. There's more to the story. So the security comes in. You can't do that. Fuck off. I sit down, my wife is crying. An hour goes by, another hour goes by, folks. Okay? This is a 4 or 5 hour opera. This guy's still up there, this jack off. Mama, me, 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 mama, me, 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 me. I can't hold it back. I get up. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. No more bullshit. No more bullshit. No more bullshit. Thank you. Ah, boy. Well, we got kids now, and I do love the kids. I love them. I was a little disappointed because I was hoping there would be more material in there. But they're doing fine, and there's nothing for me to work with so much. But I do kind of miss the old days, before the kids, when it was just me and my wife, and we were just a couple of 9-to-5ers, How many, before the comedy career, how many people here are 9-to-5ers, just pushing it through every day, 8 hours a day, 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, just pushing the grind. You guys are making the country work, by the way. You guys are turning that wheel, and we salute you. Yeah, I was doing the 9-to-5 thing for a while, and actually I was sort of doing the 9-to-5 thing. I was also doing a little day trading, about day trading. Kind of did that for a little while. I use this E-Trade. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's an E-Trade, sort of lets you invest at your own pace, I guess. It's kind of cool. I got sort of into it for a while. They let you kind of customize your the way you want to invest, so you can get a little risky, or sort of play it safe. It's a whole range. You could get analytics and mess around with that. I got to mess around with that for a little bit, but it's a good service, It's easy, too. You just go to etrade.com, log in, or set up an account, link it to your fucking bank account. It's, too easy. And it's funny, is there still fucking people on Ameritrade, just which doesn't have the tools that E-Trade has. It's okay. But, I was doing the 9-to-5 thing, and my wife was doing the 9-to-5 thing, and it was sort of just those salad days, where you didn't have a lot of responsibilities, and we had this routine where we would she would cook dinner, and I would come home, and on the way home, I would stop and get a bottle of wine. I would get just nothing fancy, just whatever they had at 7-Eleven, and just sort of just good, just straight, just perfectly fine wine, just nothing to write home about. And we'd sit there at the dinner table, the kitchen table, and we'd talk about our day, and we'd sort of laugh about it, and we'd eat, and we'd drink, and we had, by the end of the meal, by a couple hours go by, and we've drunk the whole bottle of wine. We just like, and we do that, throughout the week, and now, of course, on the weekend, things changed a little bit. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I have a garage, and in that garage is a big fridge, and in that fridge is some ice-cold Coronas. Yeah! Right? Ooh, ice-cold Coronas, getting me thirsty just thinking about it. And I'll tell you, Saturday mornings, I'd get up, and about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, I'd crack open my first Corona of the day. And I'd go out in the back porch, and I just said, nothing on the schedule, nothing to worry about. I'd check E-Trade, see where my money's at, and just waste the day away. Just had a drink and talk and hang out and just buy, you know how it happens when you're kind of going through your Coronas, and you get sort of like, suddenly the sun's setting, you're like, what? And I'll kind of stumble into the house and crash down on the couch and, pass out. And, geez, middle of the night I wake up and I gotta fucking piss, right? Guys? And I go in to the guest bathroom and whip it out and, stumble back, pass out, wake up at 6 a.m. There's televangelists on the TV. I don't know where I am. I spend the rest of Sunday like this. That was sort of the routine. But I give my wife a hard time, I give her a hard time. I love her very much, and I'm proud of her. And I want to give her a little shout out tonight. She's been working really hard on something. She started her own business, and we're very proud of her for that. We love entrepreneurs here, and she has started this business. It's so cool because she's very smart. She's very design savvy. She understands the feng shui of the area and everything. And I think there's some people here with, horse blinders on when it comes to candles. And she started this company called Mix My Candles. And there's a website for it, mixmycandles.com. And it's so cool. What she does is she kind of analyzes your candle situation. And guys are great for this because guys don't know anything about candles. Am I right? Ladies? And she'll come in and she'll evaluate the situation and she will mix your candles around. And it's amazing how it sounds so simple, but it changes everything. But I love sort of demoing it with the guys in the audience. Is there a guy? You come up here. What's your name? Dave. The big Dave and Goliath, everybody. Come up here. Oh, come up. Hey, I'm up here. Let's hear it for Dave. Big Dave. Big Dave with the tight shirt. Comes Big Dave up on stage. He can climb up. He doesn't have to be big entrance. Come here. Come here, guy. You got your karate slippers on? Stand right here. Got the Nazi haircut. What's your full name?
David Villalpando.
Okay. David Villalpando needs to brush his teeth, folks. He's. So tell me, listen, Dave. Tell me a little bit about your home, your apartment. Where I assume you live in an apartment. You're not living in a home. This guy. I mean, let's be real. Where are you living? What's your situation?
1-bedroom apartment.
Okay. And tell me your candle situation. Where are your candles?
I have 3 candles.
Pretty good. For a 1-bedroom?
For a 1-bedroom.
Pretty nice. Okay.
Bathroom. kitchen, living room.
Okay, we can work with this. This is cool. By the way, is this you said this is your girlfriend?
Yeah, right there.
What's your name? Daniela. Okay. And do you guys live together?
Yeah.
How long has this been going on?
We've been together for 5 years.
5 years. That's terrific. Let's hear it for this 5-year relationship. Living together, 1-bedroom apartment. You guys don't have a lot of personal space, I assume, at the apartment? No. Okay. 5 years. Girlfriend. No next steps here.
There will be.
Oh, there will be. Well, what? Do you love her?
I love her.
Do you love him? Well, hold on. What are you doing? I mean, what are you waiting for?
It's all about timing, Tim.
What better timing than this? These people this is a supportive place? And do you feel strong? Wait, what is the problem? What is this delay? Why don't you just be a man here and make a decision? Is this who you want to spend your life with or not?
Yes.
Well, let's do it. Get up here. Let's fucking do it. Come on, and don't get her the back way. Get her up on stage. I don't care how you do it, because he's going to change his mind. Do you have a ring? I mean, I get a ring for you here. Truth be told, I'm going through a divorce. So you can have it. Go ahead. I'll tell you. I need to take 2 minutes, so you take over. I'll supervise.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to propose on the stage right now.
Just like this. And kneel.
Daniela? Yes. I love you very much. This is really weird. Will you marry me? Hold on.
What did she say?
Yes.
There you go! Come on, stand up for him. Stand up for the love. Now get out of here. Well, congratulations to these guys. Wow. What a story to tell. What a story to tell. You're kind of making me, I don't know, a little depressed or something. I don't know. They got that chance to do it right.
I recently celebrated an anniversary. I am 1 year sober. Thank you. In early sobriety, they encourage you to be single because it's such a transformative time, which I love because I love being single. The only person who doesn't like that is my husband. Not a big fan. When you're a married woman and you quit drinking, in the beginning, everyone thinks you're pregnant. And they want you to drink to prove that you're not. So I was at my friend's wedding recently, and she was like, Brittany, you're totally pregnant. Drink this and prove that you're not. And I was like, ugh. Listen, Stacy, if I have to drink to prove it, I'm gonna fuck your dad. Get that Mai Tai out of my face unless you wanna call me mommy. I did notice that when I quit drinking, my husband started collecting expensive whiskey. Thought that was a little annoying. So I was like, babe, how come when I quit drinking, you started collecting whiskey? And he was like, I have been trying to collect it the whole time. Whoopsie. I am from Wisconsin, though. That's just what we do. We drank. You guys get it? We have T-shirts in our airport that say, drink Wisconsinably. My ex-stepmom used to decorate our house in tacky wine decor. She had a sign that said, wine is the answer, and I forgot the question. The question is why did the neighbor boy find you naked in a ditch at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday? The question is, why is your cherry red Spider Eclipse parked in the kitchen? These are the questions. My first shot of hard liquor was Everclear. Thank you. If you don't know what that is, congratulations. You have homework. It's 190 proof grain liquor. And that being your first shot is a lot like losing your virginity to a traffic cone. Everything else is smooth sailing. My signature move when I drank was I used to send nudes the way Bed Bath & Beyond sends coupons. I'm like, if everyone in my phone gets 10, someone is bound to redeem. My grandma was like, Brittany, what on earth is this? I'm like, it's a numbers game, Grandma. Get on board.
I got norovirus, which, yeah, those of you that have had it, if you heard everybody in here, you heard a very low bass groan, like a, because if you have had norovirus, you know it. It is the worst illness. If you don't know what it is, it's that virulent stomach illness that lasts only like 20 hours, but it docks cruise ships. Right? I didn't think you could get this shit unless you came into contact with a limbo stick that hadn't been properly sanitized. But you can get this shit on dry land, and oh my God, was it bad. I mean, that's the most sick I've ever been. I learned shit from norovirus. Seriously. For instance, man has pondered for generations whether it is possible for one's own soul to exit out one's own asshole. And I'm here to tell you all, I know the answer now. And the answer is no. It can't. But it can poke its head out. And my soul got a gander around because it almost came out of me. Holy God, not a very, very technologically, very primitive illness, that one. A king killer, the kind of illness that halted the exploration of continents. It was bad. Like, I like to imagine if norovirus is a person, he's just a real straight shooter. You know what I mean? If norovirus was a guy, he's like, COVID? That's a designer illness. I mean, really, think about it. What does COVID do? You know what I mean? Long COVID, you have all these crazy symptoms, you know? You got loss of sense of smell or taste. You've got brain fog, neuropathy, the shakes, right? Fever. Every illness is different for every person. It tailors it to you. That is a nice illness. That is, COVID is the J.D. Power and Associates Illness of the Year. And that is a nice illness. But not me. Norovirus, not me. I'm a meat and potatoes type of guy. Just give me a lot of liquid out the face and butt. That's what I like. Because I fucking died. 18 hours, oh my God. Have you ever been so sick like that? That you're just sitting there, and at some point you're just like, there's nothing left. At one point, I had been shitting and barfing for so long, so aggressively, that at one point I heard my own voice. I don't remember saying it. I heard it reverberate off our bathroom tile. I just heard my voice shrill and go, "Oh, now you're just showing off." It's like my body was out doing donuts on the 50-yard line and it's El Camino. Check it out, bro. Oh, there's more down here. Whenever human beings get too high on themselves, Norovirus is there to remind you of what you are. We believe ourselves to be too much. We're always like, oh, human beings, the most evolved species on the planet. Whenever I hear somebody say that, I want to be like, oh, really? And then hold up a Polaroid, just a profile of them, naked, their ass sealed to a porcelain hole in a house, legs up on a squatty potty. They look like a gargoyle outside a Bed Bath & Beyond, right? Hair scraggly. In their hands, a giant steel pot, usually reserved for slow simmering family stews. But not today. It's for the front half of you to leak in like a yoga studio ceiling. I want to hold up a photo of that person. Oh, we're the most evolved species, are we? I'm one of God's miraculous creations. We are primitive. Just watch somebody have diarrhea to tell you how primitive we are. Speaking of shitting your pants, did you know, like, right before a human being dies, it shits itself? I mean, it lets go of everything. It shits and pits itself. Because we have a lot of pride muscles. You know what I mean? Like, just muscles that are vanity muscles, that are concerned with how you appear to other people. And when you die, your body's like, fuck it. I don't have to do this anymore. Like, my job's done here. He's dead, right? I didn't realize that culture does that as well. Cultures shit their pants when they're about to die. And I have witnessed one of these proverbial pants shittings of Western culture in the form of a new television show on Netflix that is just titled, Is It Cake? That's the name of a fucking television show right now. Is it cake? That's how fucking dumb we've become as a culture. We used to have puzzle shows, $100,000 Pyramid, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune. And then we started to backslide a bit, you know? And I thought we had hit the bottom when we got to Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? But little did I know the Marianas Trench of intellectualism was right there. And now we're just like, is that cake or is it not cake? You know, I gotta be honest, man, I'm gonna say that's cake. Wrong, get the fuck out of here. Ma'am, cake or not, I think it's cake too. He just said that, fall off a cliff. You, dude from Massachusetts, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that's fucking cake at all. You're right, fuck yes, thank God. Here's $25,000, fix your face. Like, so fucking stupid. Most of the world is starving around us, and we're sculpting things out of food. How many different show ideas do you think Netflix went to until they arrived at that? Where they're like, cookies or concrete? Let's do it. A contestant is guessing whether or not that's a snickerdoodle or actually a chunk of I-70 that rolled into the medium. Let's see if it is. Or perhaps my favorite idea would be just a game show called It's Asbestos! This sounds so fun to me. It's asbestos. It's so good. Like when the contestant gets the answer wrong, all the audience goes, that's not cake, it's asbestos! All right, thanks for being here tonight. Now, thanks for joining us on It's Asbestos. Kyle here from Branson Hills. Kyle is playing the game show. If you're not familiar with how it works, our contestants have to guess whether or not that is a cake made of the finest ingredients on the planet or 2.5 pounds of pure, unabated asbestos. Now, let's check in with him. Kyle right now is willing to bet that that is a Tres Leches cake and not 26 ounces of questionable insulation from an inner city high school. Now, Kyle, I want you to take a bite of that for me now. Here he goes. Oh, no! Bees in the mouth. I'm sorry, buddy. That's not cake. It's asbestos! Oh. Mesophilia, oh my God, are we having a blast. Call the strong arm, too much fun tonight. It's asbestos. Come on, you'd watch that fucking game show. I also got into watching this show Alone. Has anybody... You like that show? Fuck yeah. Yeah, if you don't know what Alone is, this show's fucking awesome. It's awesome. I love Alone. It's the best show. It's so fucking good. If you don't know, Alone is a show where they take like 10 survivalists and they drop them in the middle of a hopeless area. It could be the Canadian Arctic. It could be a swamp in Arkansas. It could be Newark. And they leave them there. And then they have to like survive as long as they can, building their own huts and hunting their own food and everything. It's amazing. It's basically the Great British Baking Show, but for people with outstanding warrants. Like it's for criminals, like hideaways and whatnot. It's awesome. My favorite part about this show is that they go like in the intro they go, "Alone, our contestants must live as primitive man did." And they're right. Ooh, boy, they nailed it. Yeah. It's exactly like Primitive Man. If Primitive Man were given a small porn productions allotment of camera equipment to drag through the woods with them, 10 survival items of their choosing to start with, and a satellite phone with a panic button that summons a boat filled with antibiotics and rescue workers that whisks them away to a Denny's at the first sign of trouble. But aside from that, it is the Paleolithic period out there. Just those minute little details. I love these shows. Like, I've watched every season of Naked and Afraid. I've watched all of, I love shows like Project Alaska and stuff like that. But I realized it's because I'm a nature cuck. Like, legitimately a nature cuck. Like, because there is nothing I love more than to sit in the corner of a room and watch as Mother Nature fucks my fellow man right in front of me. I love to watch it. I just sit there and I'm like, yeah, fuck him real good, Mother Nature. Yeah, he's got a cut on his finger he got this morning chopping wood. Yeah, I bet that's gonna get infected, isn't it? Oh, and I bet he's got a fever right now, doesn't he? Now drop a blizzard on his ass, Mommy. I love this shit. It makes me so happy. Just so good. I love all of this stuff. I just think it is so funny that people believe that it is this childlike level of delusion to believe that we can go back to primitive living. There are 7 billion of us on the planet, 330 million Americans. We cannot agree on everything or anything at all. And you think we can go back to the most primitive and difficult way of living? You're crazy. I love when people say they're paleo, because it's code. Whenever a buddy is like, yo, I went paleo, I'm like, oh, I know what you mean. You mean you don't want to eat tomatoes or listen to women. That's what you mean. That's all you mean. Like, paleo people are like, all they mean is they're just like, yeah, bro, I'm paleo now. Oh, yeah, I'm paleo, I do it. That's the craziest. The Paleolithic period was like 2 million years long. It extended over such a long and vast time span and area. There were so many different, and the best part is, paleo people take it as, I get to eat meat 3 meals a day. That's basically what it means. Do you know now that they think that hunting for big game was a mating ritual because it was so fruitless? That was such a difficult thing to do. Big game was very difficult to come by. Most people just foraged for everything. That's why just once I want to hear somebody go, we went paleo, whole family. And they actually went Paleolithic. Like they're like, yeah, whole family went paleo. Great, so you're having bison with every meal now? No. Most of my protein is coming from spiders that I dig out of the corner of the shed. And I'm getting a fair amount of my greens that grow up as dandelions around the walkway. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've had a urinary tract infection for the last 3 straight months. And 7 of our first 10 kids died in childbirth. It's not easy, I'll tell you that. It's not easy, it's a sacrifice. That's why I'm 3 feet 7 inches tall. Fucking dumbasses. We're this tall because of Korn. Korn did this. And not the band, that would be sweet. God, if the band Korn was responsible for our development, you know, or whatever. My buddy is always trying to get me to take primitive survival classes. He's like, dude, you want to come and take some outdoor survival classes? No. What, you don't want to? No. Well, all right, bro, I thought you said you wanted simpler living. Yeah. I meant I want to read more and I don't want to wash my face at night, okay? But I don't want to fight raccoons for my food. Are you fucking crazy? Look at me, I'm an indoor girl. This is what it looks like. I'm American. Without my Pontiac G6 and my condominium, I am just an unpeeled banana, just loudly stomping through the woods at a profoundly trackable rate. Like, you'd be amazed at how quickly an animal could eat me. They're gonna eat me first. I'm already in the posture of a corn dog. Look at me. I'm an upright walking stick of meat. I'm definitely gonna get fucking eaten. That's why I love shows. Don't put Americans on survival shows. We're the Fabergé eggs of this fucking planet. We are the most delicate, needy group of people on this planet. That's why I love this show, because I love seeing the hubris of Americans when they get on this show. They're always like, I'm gonna make this landscape my bitch. I ain't afraid of no bears or no wolves. See, we've all seen too many movies about the outdoors. We've seen The Revenant or The Grey or whatever. We've seen movies. We think you're gonna get eaten by mountain lions. It's not. In the wild, it's the little shit that kills you. And that's what I realized from the show. Like, I watched an episode of Alone one night where a field mouse took a man for everything it was fucking worth. And it was the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. It was so good. This big gruff guy from Montana's in his shed, and he wakes up in the morning and he opens up his food store and he's like, oh shit, oh my God, all my blueberries I harvested are gone. What the fuck? And he looks out the door and there's this fat little field mouse sitting there, covered in blueberries and shit, just scowling at him. And he's like, what the fuck? And he runs and it takes off. And so the next day, this guy gets up and he goes back to his food and he's like, fuck! It ate half of my chanterelles! Oh my God, what the? And he looks out and there's that mouse again. Cheeks stuffed full of mushrooms, just scowling at him. And so he's like, I gotta do something about this. This thing is I'm gonna starve. So the guy makes a trap and he hangs a little bit of his meat in the trap and he goes to bed. And in the morning, he checks the trap. And the trap is still set, and the meat is still hanging there. But in the hardest rodent flex of all time, he noticed that the mouse just chewed all of the fat off of the meat and did not trip the trap. And this man went full PTA mom. It was amazing. His voice got shrill, and he was like, no! This isn't the order of things. You're a mouse, you stay outside, and if you come inside, I humanely trap you and I put you outside, thus allowing karma to shine down on me. That's the way it works. And this mouse was sitting out there like, I ain't your typical bitch city mouse, am I? I came out here to do 2 things. That's fuck and chew the fat off stuff. And my wife didn't want to fuck this morning. So it looks like you're up to bat, you pink disappointment. And that guy just leaned on a log and was like, oh my God. He started crying. He started crying. It was so good. The mouse actually looked like it felt bad for him. Like the mouse was like, oh, come on, man. I didn't do you that bad. Last guy they dropped off out here, I ate his entire King James Bible in front of him. It took me 2 fucking weeks to get through. I didn't even like the taste. I just loved to listen to him scream at the moon every night. I love this show because you can tell when they're gonna tap out every fucking time. Because there's one word. If you watch Alone, there's one word that tells you they're gonna tap out. You'll hear it. They'll be down, they'll be sitting there on a log, 40 pounds lighter, just like shaking, and they're like, I can't do it anymore. And then you'll hear, I just want a donut. And that's it. That's the out. The minute the human brain goes to donut, you're fucked. That's it. Give up. Because a donut, the thought of a donut is universal acid. It'll chew through your will and drive. You just want a donut so bad. That's why we can't go back. Because there's no going back from donuts. There's only forward from donuts. And even if you don't like a donut, which I don't want to know you if you don't, you love what a donut stands for. Hot, ready-made trash at our beck and call. None of us can go back to primitive life because we've all had pizza. You've all had broccoli at any time of year that snaps fresh from the stalk. You've all had a kombucha. You can't go back from that. So the best thing you can do is be kind to each other, grab some neck feathers on this albatross, and ride this shitbird down until it dies from all the plastic it accidentally ingested. Yeah. Because if you haven't got hip to it yet, we're all gonna fucking die out here. Let's have fun while we're at it. Fuck it. That show doesn't scare me because it's not a reality I'll ever face. People are like, doesn't Alone terrify? It terrifies me. No, it doesn't scare me. If you ever want to make a show that terrifies me, don't make a show called Alone. Make a show called Lonely. Now that's terrifying. Make a show called Lonely. Listen to how terrifying that word is. You're lonely. Holy shit, you're all so fucking lonely right now. Could you imagine if I invited you over to watch Alone and I explained the premise? Yeah, it's about survivalists. They go out, try to live. You guys want to come over, have a beer, and watch it? You'd be like, fuck yeah. But if I was like, hey, you want to come over and watch this show called Lonely? Fuck is that about? It's just about 10 to 12 random Americans trying to go throughout their workday having an actual human connection with someone else. The fuck would I ever want to watch that for? God, no. I'll just look in a mirror for 45 minutes straight. They're also, like, that's the craziest shit. I love the idea of lonely versus alone. I've always imagined that alone versus lonely is the universe battling the human body, you know what I mean? Like biology. Like the universe in physics was like, we've created alone, the most terrifying idea there is. Basically, you take one organism or object, isolate it from any other like organism or object by a large, large swath of area, and you leave it isolated. And that object starts to question what it is and starts to self-destruct. And it starts to lose sight of where it belongs in the greater thing. It's very terrifying, very powerful. Alone is very powerful. And then the human body sauntered in drunk and was like, cool story, hold my beer. I can make a human being feel like that in a crowded fucking room. I can make you all feel like that wherever. Look at how lonely this guy is. Look at, that's what life is. Look at how lonely that guy is. And his face is inches from the comic's dick. And he still feels so alone. How is that possible? Oh, God. But you're not alone. You're not alone. Look at me. Look at me. Dress different and this wouldn't happen, okay? I love the way alone and lonely change. People think they're synonymous. They're not. I love the way they change a sentence. Like if I were to say, I am alone up here on stage, that's factual. I am the only comic on this stage right now. But if I say I'm lonely up here, all of a sudden that's a lot more fucking sad, isn't it? A little bit of a cry for help. You all laugh a little harder because I may walk straight into traffic after this show. I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. I think we're alone now. The beating of our hearts is the only... Come on! That's the classic 80s Tiffany remake of that classic song about two lovers who finally found some privacy to explore each other's bodies. That's a hit song. I think we're both lonely now. There doesn't seem to be anyone. Well, that's the story of a couple who goes home, draws the blinds, opens the oven, and blows out the pilot light together. That's the soundtrack to a murder-suicide pact. Home Alone! Home Alone! The story of Macaulay Culkin as a precocious 9-year-old child left alone by his well-meaning parents to fight off would-be thieves. That's a fucking Christmas movie! But Home Lonely... Well, that's just Macaulay Culkin now. Poor Macaulay Culkin.
I will say, as pro-vaccine and I'm pro-science, I will say that right now. Also, I will say this. Consider the source material. First off, I'm a comedian. I shouldn't be a part of anybody's research. Ever. Just ever. But the being on the podcast, no. Also, I will tell you to trust the science. But know this, I also get sunburns every year. Multiple sunburns. And that science has been out there since the sun. Since the first person has been like, oh, I gotta find some shade. I ignore that science every year. That's the dumbest look you could have in a first world country, is an adult with a sunburn just going, ha ha, fuck, yeah, man, I really thought I was gonna get around it this year. I was doing yard work, but I was bobbing and weaving. I didn't think it was gonna get me this year. Nope, first nice day of the year, I'm just out there like, you don't want to SPF too early, you want to get a good base coat. You want to brown up even, then you can lotion up. Second nice day of the year, bright red screaming cancer. Got shoulders that look like French bread pizzas. Then after that, I've clearly tried to apply sunblock, but I've done it alone and been too proud to ask for help. And you can see that because you can tell I've just taken the tube, I will squeeze it over my head and just let it drizzle down, just magic shell style, just oozing down my face. Just a little hot fudge Kyle, that's all. My head and face are a ghoulish white, like the holograms from the Haunted Mansion showing up next to you. Ha! What you barbecuing? Blah. And the rest of it I kind of push down around my chest and shoulders. My back is just a series of violent handprints. Just furious slappings. It looks like demons tried to drag me to hell. But thank God the copper tone was too slick and they couldn't get their talons in. Praise Jesus. Not today, Satan. You will not capture my soul. For your demonic pits of hell, I managed to slip away in the flames of the underworld, only burnt a spiky, tribal Godsmack album cover looking thing. Okay. Relinquish your grasp, hellions. You don't know what's in those needles, dude. Fuck you. That was always said by people with the shittiest tattoos. You don't know what's in those needles, dude. It's always said by some dude who had like only God can judge me, scribbled across his chest. Did it with a guitar string and India ink at his cousin's pig roast, you know? How many only God can judge me tattoos you think have been in a courtroom? I'll tell you right now, it's all of them. It's every single one of those tattoos. Every single person who thinks only God can judge them has been judged by a terrestrial being. Only God can judge me. 18 months? Fuck, man. Even beforehand, even before the whole thing, the anti-vaxxers kind of made me laugh. Vaccines cause autism, man. Vaccines are causing autism. Fucking good. We probably need more autistic kids. Yeah! They're the ones that keep beating robots at chess. And if you don't think that's an incredibly necessary individual in this day and age, all we do is keep getting information over to the algorithm. That's all we do. It's just like, oh, accept cookies, allow tracking. Come on, man, I'm trying to look at tits on this thing. It's only a matter of time before like, oh, the machines took over the banks and I can't get my folding money out to pay my bills. What are we gonna do? Well, we could ask Toby if he wants to take a break from building DNA strands out of Legos long enough to save the world again. Do you mind, Toby? We'd love your help. We'll get you the big chocolate milk this time. Greta Thunberg's autistic. She's trying to save the Earth from ourselves. And the best we can come up with is, she's like a girl. And she looks weird. She's a kid. So nah. Oh, good. Okay, I guess it's your unvaxxed, homeschooled, soft-boiled degenerate that's gonna save the universe. Yeah, that kid that's gonna overdose at an EDM concert and then fight with the paramedics over the flat earth theory is gonna be the one. Mama says on account of her womb being dead means that I'm just an angel for being here. Okay, we'll trust. Let's elect you into office. Listen, I'm a little burnt out even on the people that I agree with because it's getting a little too obnoxious on both ends of the spectrum. I'm a little sick of all my woke friends that are woke, but they insist on having their own brand new white babies still. Like you can't be burdened with that much white guilt and you can't be like, we are the problem. Anyway, here's another one. No, you can't. Stop flooding the market with your shitty product. It's not how economics work. You know, there's plenty of kids out there to upcycle right now, so you don't need a new one. Or whatever term you want to slap on it to feel better. But then they'll try to defend it, be like, you don't understand, Kyle, we're gonna raise our child to be a feminist. You need to raise your child to digest plastic. That's who's gonna survive. That's who's gonna live. It's not looking good out there. That's what you need. But Kyle, I wouldn't care if my kid was trans. You should care if they have gills. You need a kid that can breathe smoke or water. That's what you need, a plastic-eating fish baby if you want any hopes of grandkids. So I bought this van, and the first stop with it to kind of test it all out, get used to it, I went down camping with friends. I went to Joshua Tree National Park. And yeah, okay, we know Joshua Tree, but also, you know national parks. This is Utah. You have, whoa, wow. Just stuff that you're like, don't anybody touch this. This is amazing. Arches, what's happening here? Look at, oh, dinosaur footprints? Oh, you mean God's little tricksters? Oh. Yeah, sure. Okay, I won't bother those. But you know, that is astonishing landscape. Just a little further south, Grand Canyon. I have to rub my eyes every time I'm there to be like, this is not a painting. This is a real, this is a geographic anomaly, oh, that big, that I'm looking at. But then you go to Joshua Tree after seeing that stuff and you're just like, No. So you got the rock that's on top of the other rock over there. You know? That's pretty wild. Yeah, look at that. Anyway, what's over this way? Oh, bullshit. Oh, look at the rock that's on the rock and a couple trees and doing anything there. All right. So it's nice that it's there, but it's kind of just like, yes. It's like a geographic Kardashian, It's hot and of no value, but we somehow keep trying to make it a thing, So, and all the honky witches from LA and the Stevie Nicks cosplayers go out there and recharge their crystals, which, all right, I'm making fun of it, but you know what? If crystals make you happy, you're not hurting anybody, go have your special rocks. People have rabbit's feet. Put a rock on a windowsill in the moonlight, and the next day you hold it, you feel less anxiety. You're not hurting anybody. Go for it. It's weird times. We all can extract energy from unorthodox sources in this world. Listen, I don't do crystals. That's not my thing. I find a balance and a fairness in this world, just an equilibrium. Whenever I see an attractive person getting on a Southwest flight last, That's when I know that there is some small undercurrent of justice in this world. You just see a supermodel, just somebody gorgeous, a gorgeous individual, and then you see that C on their boarding card, and you know they have no idea. And you're like, oh, honey, you're about to learn how the world really works. Yeah, you got bumped off a United flight or something, now you're here with the great unwashed. This is gonna be fun. Because they always stand at the front of the plane with nothing but middle seats open. They're just like, but I can't, but why? But what am I gonna do? You're gonna rub some elbows with some stinkers. That's what you're gonna do. Squeeze in here with some slobs coming home from Vegas and make some friends. But so we went out there and just did, drugs. It's like that, but not. I don't even want to say it like in a woo. Like, do you guys do this? I don't even. Just did mushrooms. I just think they're good for you. They're good for you psychologically. Okay. And I'm not gonna preach. I'm not gonna proselytize about it. Do them safely. Do them around people that have done them before that you trust, and do them outside. That's all you gotta. Don't do them in an apartment because you're just like fucking the toilet. It just has water that goes into the earth, man. Anything's a wishing well if you dream big enough, man. Is that where my car keys are? I'm turning it into a Ferrari. So just go, and you can have a bad trip, but it's not, I'm not even talking about acid. Just like, I had a bad trip on this one. Not bad, but like, I was with a group of dudes, and I was outnumbered as far as the soundtrack of the trip went, and so they wanted to listen to jam bands, and I found a new kind of hell for myself. If jam bands are your thing, good for you. Bless your heart on that stuff. I do not hear a jam. I never hear a jam. I hear 5 stepdads who do not know how to end a song. That's what I hear. I don't care what name of the band you tell me it is. It's one band that names them all. It's called Noodly Lou and the Turd Herders. And it's 5 dads in cargo shorts, and one guy wants to end it. One guy in the band. There's no end to this joke. It just goes on. In being faithful to that genre of music, the joke just goes on until everybody's like, we do have to get out of here. That really, there's no shit on that one.
And then, of course, Lady Gaga's out there doing her thing. How many Lady Gaga fans do we have here tonight? I'll count myself. I think what she's doing is important and cool. And I love Lady Gaga. But what's next? Lord Goo Goo?
I did quit drinking though, because the universe gave me a sign. And by universe, I mean police. And by sign, I mean DUI. So I got a DUI. And the fucked up thing about getting a DUI, as some of you will find out tonight, is you're wasted, so you think it's a joke. I'm like, they caught me. Pull over that ass too fast, whoop whoop. The officer came up to my window and was like, "Excuse me, ma'am, is your judgment impaired?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm driving a Honda Element." And he was like, "I'm gonna need to see your ID." So I went in my purse and I grabbed my credit card and I was like, "Shut the tab." And he was like, "I'm gonna need you to step out of the car." And I was like, "All right, but hypothetically speaking, in this situation, how far would a blow Jay Simpson get me?" Spoiler alert, jail.
I looked at my phone, had fantastic service out there. Go figure. Verizon. Hey, what are you, in the middle of nowhere? Full bars. Hey, you in an actual city where you live and conduct business? Why don't you suck our dicks? So that's... It's an odd choice for them to do that way.